birth and had that baby debut in this movie. Cause that baby look more freaking real. Y'all, I was crying my eyes out. I was ugly crying. I was Kim Kardashian crying. Like I was, oh my God. Did Anna really talk to Nico? Was the well actually real? Because over time, Anna is delirious. She's isolated. She's in a desperate situation. She's overwhelmed. All this stuff plays on your mental state. Hello, beautiful people. Today I will be reviewing the Netflix movie Nowhere about a pregnant woman who ends up stranded in the middle of the ocean, trapped inside of a shipping container. That just sounds stressful. I was really excited to watch Nowhere because survival thrillers are one of my favorite subgenres. I absolutely love a fight for your life scenario, particularly if you're like alone, isolated. Going into this movie, I expected some level of absurdity. I mean, it's to be expected with a movie like this, with a premise like this, suspending some belief. And honestly, I was so stressed throughout this movie and on edge. None of the absurd stuff really bothered me or ruined my enjoyment of this movie. Now, while I was expecting some unbelievable stuff to go down, I absolutely was not expecting for this movie to be so sad. Like, one thing I absolutely hate is crying. I will avoid any movie where I'm like, oh hell no, I don't want to cry. I'm not gonna watch that. Like, I've never seen Precious. I've never seen anything that's sad. Like, y'all, well, I won't say never seen, but if I know it's sad, I'm not gonna watch it. But I don't know, crying isn't fun to me. I cried like 4 times throughout this movie. I did not expect such a gripping and heartfelt just journey of survival and maternal instinct and some postpartum depression kind of mixed up in there as well. Now, at the top of the movie, we are introduced to Anna and Nico, who are a married couple who are fleeing Spain, which is run by this like brutal, ruthless regime. The world that they introduce us to here, it is a situation where there is a resource shortage in Spain, and as a result, they have killed off the elderly, and now they are killing off all of the children and pregnant women. That is the setup here, okay? Now, Anna is pregnant and currently hiding her pregnancy. We are fleeing Spain, trying to make it to Ireland, which apparently the regime has stretched to like neighboring places, but Ireland is safe. Now, at the top of the movie, when we are sneaking to, the container and paying the toll to the smugglers, trying to get us out of here, Anna was irking my nerves so bad. And I was just like, Lord, please don't let us have like an aggravating protagonist the whole movie. It was just the way that she was moving slow, falling behind, hesitating. The smuggler guy is, trying to tell them to hurry up, keep up, let's go this way. Her husband kept having to say, you okay, you okay? Y'all, this situation is one where we need to make haste. Like, we need to move. But Anna just kept stopping, staring, looking. And I'm like, lady, go. So everything works out. Anna and Nico make it onto the shipping container. Anna, who is Anna? Anna is able to free her pregnant belly. We see that she is very pregnant. We spend a little time with Anna and Nico's characters in the shipping container. And we also see other people in the shipping container who are fleeing Spain as well, including a young pregnant girl, a man and his little girl, a single woman, a lady with a newborn baby. Poor lady couldn't make it out before the baby came. We see a lady and her dog. Now, the single woman drills a hole into the container so she can get some fresh air. And that will come into play later in the movie in more ways than one. But the container ends up where it's picking up more people, right? And this irked my nerves so bad. In a situation like this, I would think you need to stay close to your pregnant wife and, prepare to protect her, whatever is about to happen. We hear a lot of noise and commotion outside of the shipping container. So Nico gets the bright idea to move closer to the doors, trying to investigate. What's the point? You can't open the doors. Like, you need to be near your wife. The doors swing open and a ton of people try to rush in. And of course, Nico gets caught up in the mob. Now, the smugglers end up, yelling, getting everyone's attention, forcing folks to get off because there are too many people like bum rushing, piling into this one shipping container, which I kind of feel like the smugglers effed up. Cause what if y'all open the containers and they have this ish organized off rip? Now, of course, Nico ends up getting caught up in this group of people that are trying to rush onto the container. So he doesn't look like one of the people that were already on it. He looks like he is a part of this little mob, and he ends up being forced to get off, which I thought that he was just going to be stuck in Spain, which I kind of feel like he would have been safe and just fine because the regime don't kill single men. Okay, how come in these scenarios, like no matter what, like little catastrophic future or movie show us, men gonna be okay. Men gonna be just fine. Because I'm just thinking, like, we had a scene where we're seeing like the pregnant women being snatched up and attacked and killed, and all I could think was like the men who got them pregnant, they safe and sound. But anyway. Nico isn't left behind in Spain. Anna is able to look through the hole that was drilled into the side of the container, and she is able to see Nico getting onto another shipping container with the group of people. Now, he does end up calling Anna once he is on the container. He calls her on her cell phone, and she finds out he's safe. He's on a container. They will meet at the destination. He tells her to save her phone battery, protect her resources, and don't trust nobody. Now, as the truck is moving through the city, we are now able to see pretty much this chaos and devastation for ourselves that we heard about. We are able, through Anna's POV, as she's looking through that hole, we are able to actually witness the devastation, the brutality in the streets, everything that they are actually running away from, trying to get to safety. We literally see kids being ripped from parents, pregnant women being attacked and pulled off of the streets. Now, the truck that Anna is on ends up getting stopped at like this checkpoint, right? And soldiers end up telling the driver they need to check the cargo. And the driver is trying to spin some tail, gotta hurry up, gotta go, gotta deliver the cargo, but they gonna search it. So everyone inside is silent, scared, and I had so much anxiety because I was like, Lord Jesus, don't let the dog bark. Don't let the baby cry. This was so stressful. So the head soldier guy sees that something isn't right with the size of the container. Like, we open it up, it looks empty, but we could tell that the measurements are off. So he steps outside, has one of his henchmen on the inside, and orders him to like shoot his gun, so you can clearly see where the bullet comes out at, that there is still a bulk of room. There's a good portion that we cannot see, that's hidden. So, of course, they know that folks are back there. So, they know folks are back there. But this was confusing for me regarding the logic. This whole regime is in place because of a lack of resources in the country, right? So, why not just let folks leave? Like, wouldn't that mean less stress on your resources if people just freaking leave? I don't know. Like, you want to kill folks so that there are less people using the resources, but you won't let those same folks just leave so that there are less stress on the resources. It was just confusing for me, the whole logic of what the regime was supposed to be doing. Now, the soldier is talking through the wall, trying to convince them to open up, that, you know, they don't have to be afraid. He doesn't want, you know, to have his men shoot them, etc., etc. But child, anybody in a scenario like this knows good and damn well you cannot trust the person saying this. But they end up opening the door, and Anna is hip to what is about to go down, and she ends up climbing on top of this cargo because they are actually shipping cargo. They just, you know, smuggle some folks in with the cargo. So she's able to get up there, and she does try to get another woman, you know, to climb up with her, pull that woman up, but the soldiers end up shooting and killing every single solitary person in here. And this was so shocking to me, and I feel like maybe not shocking in where the story goes, because of course we know Anna inevitably ends up by herself on a container. We know that this is what the soldiers do, but it was just so shocking, like, that the movie went there, and like, y'all introduced us to like this lady with her baby and the man with his little girl and the pregnant lady. Like, why y'all did this to us? So it was like shocking for me watching, and I guess not, like I said, not shocking that these people were slaughtered, that the movie did that. And I am one of those people who, like, I don't like seeing nothing happen to kids. You can insinuate it can happen off camera, but I don't want to see it. And we don't actually, like, you know, see it, but a little girl survives the initial slaughter, and we see her standing there. The camera cuts away, and we hear the gunshot. So she's killed off camera, thank you, but it's still so gut-wrenching. Like, why she had to be left out the initial slaughter? Why we had to, like, see her little face? Oh, it was so sad. Now, I do feel like in dealing with this, it doesn't feel that the filmmakers were, like, gratuitous or distasteful or exploitive in any way. The entire premise of this violence and murder of pregnant women and kids and babies, it did feel appropriately heartbreaking and haunting and somber. After everyone is murdered, the dog ends up running out, and the soldiers just laugh, let the dog run out. Now, I'm all for animals, okay? I don't want to see no dog get killed. I want to see not have no animals. But just in me, with the logic, like I said, of this whole thing, I would think if you're talking about killing people for being a drain on resources, that you would kill the dog. Like, wouldn't that be a drain? But you know what? Presumably the filmmakers was like, you know what, let's ease up off them, because we already putting their heart through all this. Well, let's not add in murdering a dog. So, you know, thank you. Okay, we did go through enough, and we didn't need to see nothing happen to the dog. I'm so happy the dog got to run off and sail off into the damn sunset, child. So no complaints from me when it comes to that. So they end up clearing out all of the bodies, and the truck driver just continues on his merry way. And again, don't ish happen to the men, because I would think the truck driver would get murdered or in trouble for damn smuggling people, but whatever the hell. So Anna is now in the shipping container all by herself, and the container does end up on the ship headed for Ireland, and she does call Nico she gave him, like, she sent him a message to let him know everybody was murdered and to hide, but she does not get in touch with them. And I was annoyed with the smugglers, like, y'all didn't have no real or viable plan to get these people out safely. Like, y'all didn't prepare for these checkpoints and all that stuff, or maybe Anna's truck just so happened to run into the overzealous soldier. But I don't know. And I guess you can't expect the people smuggling folks out the country to be like doing this out the goodness of their heart, because they hitting the people up for everything they had. And I don't know. It just kind of irked me though. Now, Anna is on the ship in the cargo, and a massive storm hits, and you can hear folks outside like screaming and yelling, and Anna is screaming, but the storm is loud, of course. But what I thought was crazy was you hear someone outside, like being like it's someone in there. And all I could think was, nigga, just open the container. Like, it's just going down. It's loud. If you even think someone is in there, just open it to check. But of course, no one checks. No one opens the container. No one can hear Anna screaming. And the storm is rocking the ship and knocks a few of the shipping containers into the ocean, including the one that Anna is inside of. Now, something else that struck me but you know, I don't know about how all this stuff worked, but something that I thought was crazy was with the shipping containers, like they aren't secured on the ship in any way. I just thought that didn't make any sense. I mean, storms happen, so we just lose cargo and pollute the ocean every time a storm hits a cargo ship. That didn't really make any sense. And I would think, you know, a storm is coming, you got it on your radar, whatever the hell. But anyway, Anna is in the ocean. She ends up hearing a ton of people screaming, and she can see another shipping container sinking near hers, and it just so happens to be the shipping container that we saw Nico get onto. Presumably that container sunk and Anna's did not, because there were a ton of people which, you know, added to the weight, and I'm thinking that's why that container sunk and Anna's didn't. Now, Anna told Nico earlier that she had not felt the baby kick for a few days. So she is lying in the container, trapped. She pulls out this pocket knife and is about to cut her wrist when the baby kicks. So the baby ultimately saves Anna's life, because once it is confirmed that her baby is still alive, now Anna has the will to fight for her and her baby's survival, because of course the baby's survival is predicated on mom's survival. So this was her push to live. One aspect I really like with this movie is the uncertainty of what exactly is real once we get to this point in the story, or at least my interpretation of the movie. Anna gets phone calls from Nico. Initially he calls and he tells her that the driver betrayed them, left them stranded, right? I'm pretty sure none of these phone calls were real. That's how I interpret the movie. As the movie, you know, goes along, Anna is tracking the days that she's stuck at sea, right? And she's out there for like a month, like 4 weeks, 30 days. Nico calls throughout this time. And at one point he calls during a storm. And I just feel like there's no way your battery isn't dead after all that time. There's no way you're getting phone calls in the middle of the ocean. So for me, I feel like these phone calls were not real. Now, Anna has her cell phone, and she also has a cell phone that she found from the single woman who had the drill, because when everyone is killed, Anna does still have like some of the things that they had on here. Anna's phone is cracked, and she's able to use the other phone, her phone as well. But I just feel like this isn't logical. So I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty sure those phone calls weren't real, but hey, maybe they were. And as an audience, we were just supposed to like suspend our belief that she was able to still get these phone calls. But I personally like the ambiguity of, did Anna really talk to Nico? Was the whale actually real? Because over time, Anna is delirious. She's isolated. She's in a desperate situation. She's overwhelmed. All this stuff plays on your mental state, and I feel like maybe Nico's phone calls were just a representation of the process that Anna went through to survive out there, because initially Nico tells her he will find her, which could represent Anna's hope of being rescued. But then Nico eventually calls And he pretty much lets her know he's shot, he's dying, and that she will have to rescue herself. So I feel like you start off mentally, you're hopeful about being rescued, but as time passes and you're out there, you realize that you have to be your own rescue. So I do feel like Nico died in that shipping container that sunk, and none of the phone calls from him were real. So we end up where Anna is in labor during a storm on the container. She gives birth. She also birthed the placenta, and she puts it in Tupperware. She also eventually stores the cell phone in Tupperware. Anna goes through this series of like a postpartum depression, postpartum delusion, delirium. The baby is crying nonstop. The baby won't latch on. Anna is struggling to breastfeed. And look, did they have like some kind of prosthetic robot baby? Who gave birth and had that baby debut in this movie? Cause that baby look more freaking real. That was it, y'all. It felt so real. But Anna is finally able to breastfeed, and everything is going along. Anna is able to get, supplies and make stuff from all of the cargo and other people's possessions that were left behind, and we're taking care of the baby. One thing that we are able to get is this power tool, which Anna used to try and open, a door at the top of the container. She's able to go around, but the power tool dies. Then she uses a pocket knife to continue trying to open this door. Eventually that breaks. And then when Anna is eating, I think it was cat food, you know how you have to pull the tab and lift it back for cat food? That gives her the idea for how to use these straps to pull open this door at the top. And I love the visual of this and what it represents. The strength that Anna had to have just to survive, I feel like that is represented visually in the strength that she is able to muster up to pull this open. But I was legit, like, as I was watching, I'm sitting here like, but bro, this ain't really no feat, because the mug is open, but we still stuck in the middle of the ocean. But it's still a feat, because at least we ain't trapped in here. But I also couldn't believe that for a month no other ships came by. I thought that was kind of crazy. Now, on top of the container, when Anna, would be trying to like catch fish, that gave me so much anxiety, because I was just like, lady, if you fall off this mud freaking container and leave your baby inside, y'all, I couldn't even breathe when Anna would be leaning over the damn side of the container. Yeah, oh my God. I just knew a wave was going to come, like something was going to happen, and she was going to fall off of there. Now, something that really got me was when Anna rushes to try and signal a plane, right? Which I personally thought was pointless. First of all, she's trying to do like a reflection of light. A plane is super high in the sky, and then I also feel like, so what if I see a reflection of light? How does that mean, oh, somebody must be down there stranded? I kind of feel like if I'm a pilot, I see a reflection of light, oh, whatever. I can see if you have a flare, but I don't know. It felt a little useless for me to try and signal a plane that way. But anyway, Anna cuts her leg badly trying to rush and signal the plane with, this reflection, right? I literally had a visceral reaction when Anna cut her leg. Like, my leg twitched. Like, I feel like I felt that itch. It was so, Now, I immediately was thinking, because she cuts her leg, blood is in the water. So I'm immediately like, okay, blood attracts sharks and predators, but no sharks came. Anna, stitched her leg up. And I feel like it was realistic how she was like losing consciousness for a minute. But y'all, something that irked me was Anna catches the fish, right? And just bites into the mother freaking fish. I feel like it was flapping. She bit into the scales and everything. Just raw damn flapping scaly fish. And initially, I ain't think nothing of it. Like, baby, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive, whatever the hell. But then later on, the baby is cold, coughing, getting sick. Anna takes a lighter and makes a fire to warm the baby. Girl, if you got a lighter and the capacity to make fire, why not cook the fish? Like, that killed me. Now, when Nico ends up calling again, And he ends up saying, I just want to say goodbye. I promise you I tried. Y'all, I was crying my eyes out. I was ugly crying. I was Kim Kardashian crying. Like I was, oh my God. Another reason I feel like these calls weren't real is also I feel like they were just a representation of what Anna wished. She wished she had a chance to say goodbye to Nico. She wished Nico had a chance to hear his baby. Now, once we hit day 26, Anna and Noah can no longer live in the container because Anna can no longer like stop all of the water that's flowing in. She was trying to like siphon water out. You know, when they shot, it's holes all in the container. She was trying to fill those. So we have to start living up top. Now, eventually Anna sees a seagull, right? Which of course signifies land. So she starts making a raft up top. She makes a raft for the baby using some of the Tupperware and all this stuff. Now she's making a raft for herself. So the shipping container is about to like sink, give way and everything, right? Anna ends up seeing a picture of her first daughter who was killed by the regime. And this ain't make no damn sense to me. Because the second you decided that y'all have to live up top, this mug is sinking and filling with water, you should have grabbed the picture and anything else that you might need or want. This scene was so damn stressful. The container is actively sinking. Your baby is on top of the container in the little baby raft, and Anna hops her ass inside the container that's filling with water and actively sinking to get this picture. But she gets the picture, but then she sees the Snicker bar floating in the Tupperware. Now, I get 100% why Anna wanted this Snicker bar, and also why, even though she was stranded with no food, she did not eat the Snicker bar. For one, she completely forgot about it. Then she, finds it, and the candy bar she doesn't eat. Okay. Now she's trying to risk her life to get it. Nico surprised her with this. It was supposed to be saved for them to celebrate once they finally reached safe land, reached Ireland. So at this point, it's not just a candy bar. It has sentimental value. It's like she has to grab this last piece of Nico. I get that. But my thing is, why were these things, these important things that you are risking your life for, not already up top? I would also think you'd be more worried about your baby up top alone. Of course, the container starts sinking more and the baby starts to float away. Anna grabs everything, but ends up getting her foot caught in these like straps. And they end up somehow tying a knot or whatever around her ankle. So Anna has to use the broken knife to try and cut her way out. She's drowning and her baby floating away. So she's able to get out. Now she done lost the raft, lost the supplies, lost her baby. And I gotta say that this honestly for me felt the most contrived out of the entire movie. The container did not suddenly, start sinking and surprise her. Anna pulled everything up top that she could, she could no longer live in a container. She was actively keeping track of how much water was filling it and how it was actively sinking. She was using this tape, keeping track. She pulled everything up top. We actively were living on top of the container. So something so important as the picture of her dead daughter and the Snicker bar that's representing something sentimental and represents Nico, it just didn't make sense to me that she would have both of these things still below. Because it clearly looked like she was up top readying herself and little baby Noah to abandon the container because it was sinking. So now it is dark. You can't really see. Baby is gone and Anna just floating in the ocean. Now, as someone with a debilitating fear of the ocean, a lot of the shots and just being stuck in the ocean, like it hit hard. Like visually, everything was so on point. Just seeing the ocean. I also have a fear of whales. The whales took me. Whales look like demons. But like I swear, I would faint if I ever saw a whale in real life. I honestly rather come face to face with a shark than a whale. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but whales literally terrify me. They are massive, and it's just something about how they look that just scares me to death. Like I really feel like whales look like demons. Like I don't know, I rather see a demon like in a movie than see a whale in a movie. Even just the whale sounds in the movie were really eerie and like freaking me out. But Anna is floating and a whale comes and I would have died because I would have fainted. Like I would have legit just fainted. But the whale just swims on past Anna and ends up splashing the baby with water, which wakes the baby. So Anna is now able to find baby Noah by following her cries. So the evil whales, they're not evil, that's just me, but the whale saved her baby. So in the end, Anna is in the water holding on to the baby's raft, and we see the seagulls. So Anna has the dead fish and she pulls it out to attract the seagulls, which was a good idea, and it gets them noticed by a fishing boat because you see the seagulls swarming, so you're like, what's going on over there? But this is also why I said that last sequence felt so just over the top contrived, because Anna was ready and prepared to leave the sinking container, so it just makes no sense that she left some of the most important items inside of it. But anyway, we see the fishing boat. There's a man and a woman, and they see baby Noah, who they pull out of the water. And that's all we see at this moment. There is no mom, just the baby floating on this makeshift raft. And I could have given the movie a lot more points if they had the guts to have the baby found alone with no sign of Mia, or she just be dead. These, like, the way the movie teases her being dead is what I wish they had the guts to actually follow through and go through with. In general, I have never been a fan of happy endings. I personally prefer a much more somber, brutal, gut-wrenching ending. I prefer a bad ending. I don't like a happy ending. I don't know, maybe I'm morbid, but also this type of story and the tone and the messaging of the movie, a part of the messaging and point of the movie is this maternal fight for survival for your baby. So for me, Anna wasn't fighting for herself per se. She was fighting for her child. Her survival was tied to the child's survival, but her main goal was her child's survival and fighting with a particular vengeance, seeing as her first child was killed in a situation that Anna blamed herself for. So having this feeling that you weren't able to protect your first child, you didn't want this child to be a girl, in, a reminder of what happened to that child. So for Anna to die at the end, yes, it would have been heartbreaking, but it would have still been a triumphant ending because ultimately Anna sacrificed to save her baby and she achieved that. But they notice a cord connected to the baby and ends up pulling at it, and we pull mom's body out of the water. So I don't know how long she wasn't breathing, but they attempt CPR and it's not working. Then the baby talks, baby noise. And I was feeling like these people was like, lady, we can't take care of your baby, so you're gonna have to wake the hell up. So the baby spurred her, and Anna lives, and these people are Irish, so we made it to the safe land. Y'all, I was crying like a baby at the end of this movie. Anna sitting on that boat with Noah. Oh, I would give Netflix's Nowhere a solid 5.5 out of 10. I love a fight for your life movie. Like, I love a fight for survival movie. Like, and I like the extra element of watching this mother fighting for the survival of her newborn. Our lead did, she didn't do a ton of stupid stuff. It's realistic. Everything she did wasn't smart, but it didn't feel like she just kept making idiotic decisions. You're not going to make the best decisions in a situation like this. You're half damn delirious, thirsty, everything. But I feel like she was likable and it was easy to root for her. The situation she is running from mixed with the situation she is currently trying to survive. She is a sympathetic character, easily sympathetic, and she wasn't like overly dramatic or annoying or weak. Y'all, give me more survival thrillers. Like, I love them so much. I can't express. I love the end of the world and I love a survival. Nothing about this movie is exceptional or groundbreaking, but it is definitely an enjoyable watch. And for me, a top tier release this year. Now, remember my rating scale 1 through 10, with a 5 being an average enjoyable movie. So Nowhere edges in slightly above average. And it got that extra impact for me because of the emotional impact, the way I was invested in the characters and the story. I always say, though, that it's a cheap element to pull in kids because the audience is going to be naturally sympathetic to kids. Even I want to add in women. Maybe most people will be naturally sympathetic to women and kids. So having Anna and a newborn, as well as, the women and kids that we see killed, is definitely an easy way to pull, at the audience and get us to root for Anna and Noah. But in this scenario, it does not feel like a cheap ploy here. It fits as part of the premise. So it's not only an easy way to get us to be invested and to pull at the audience, and get get us to root and be emotionally involved, but it fits and it makes sense in this world that they built, which I appreciate. Because I hate when it just feels like a cheap ploy. Like, of course we're gonna care if something happened to a child. So now the actress, amazing. It's not easy to carry so many scenes all by yourself with a prosthetic baby. I guess I was a prosthetic baby because baby, it looked real. But it never gets mundane or repetitive. I was invested the entire time. I was on the edge. My nerves was shot. Even if some parts are slightly unrealistic or over the top, for me, it keeps you sufficiently stressed and on the edge, sufficiently entertained. This movie manages to be thrilling. There's not a dull moment. And it is also heartbreaking. Every emotional note the movie hits was effective. But I'm easy. Honestly, I will cry so easy on stuff. That's why I don't like that stuff. I just avoid it. But I think the premise was very well executed. Everything worked really well for me. Guys, let me know in the comments, how did you feel about Nowhere? Do you think the whales and phone calls from Nico were real, or were they just a part of Anna's delusion? I feel like she was imagining them, but let me know what you think. Do you think the better ending would have been for Anna to have died and the baby be saved? Or did you prefer the happy ending of mother and baby surviving? Share your thoughts. Let me know you're here. Drop down in the comments. They are very important to the channel growth. And I just want to know who's here, who's showing up. So drop a comment, make yourself heard, make yourself seen. I also just love reading y'all opinions. I love knowing if other people had the same experience or a completely different experience than me, because it sure feel like the movies folks love, I don't really like. And in the movies I love, most folks don't like. And I'm just like, do I got bad taste or do other people have bad taste? No, but that's the beauty of movies. We all see the same thing and walk away with completely different experiences. Coming up this week on the channel, I saw The Haunting of Hill House for the first time, so I will have a video up on that this week, as well as Netflix's Ballerina. I will also be doing a video on When Evil Lurks. So if you aren't, make sure that you subscribe and have your bell notification on and be on the lookout for the new content coming coming in this week. I might also go live this weekend, but I'm not sure. It depends on if I got something to talk about. So if you have any topics you want me to cover on live, drop them in the comments. And also, if you haven't yet, make sure you check out the content from last week and the previous, my review of Five Nights at Freddy's, as well as my video on my top 10 guilty pleasure horror movies. And if you missed them live, make sure you check out the 2 live videos that I did last week. As always, thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting the content, for supporting my channel. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.